Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Hockey on the Spot with Brandon Marenfield. I'm Brandon Marenfield. Thank you for joining me. This is episode 86 of Hockey on the Spot and the first of two episodes that I'll be doing today. I did not do an episode yesterday because I was busy all day. And by the time I was finished with what I was doing, I was exhausted. So first, today's episode will be based off all the updates and games from Saturday night. So there were 11 games on Saturday night, so let's try to get through all of them and the updates. And we're going to start with an update on the Buffalo Sabres, who won in regulation for the first time on Friday night, but lost defenseman Mike Weber, who was out indefinitely with an upper body injury. But on a more positive note, Ville Leino did return. Yeah, Ville Leino did return last night and had an assist. So, or a couple nights ago. So that was good news for Buffalo. The Calgary Flames have officially put their captain Mark Giordano on IR. Big loss for them. Without question, the best overall defenseman in their lineup. Toronto Maple Leafs forward Joffrey Lupul did not play against the Pittsburgh Penguins on Saturday due to a bruised foot after blocking a shot in practice. No surprise to that he's getting hurt again. Anaheim Ducks forward Jakob Silfverberg will miss 4 to 6 weeks with a broken hand after being slashed by Ottawa Senators defenseman Jared Cowan in the 2-1 win from Friday night. And the Anaheim Ducks just continue to fall like flies. The injuries that they have had this season have just been absolutely ridiculous, and no team has had more injuries than the Anaheim Ducks this year. Former New York Islanders goaltender Rick DiPietro has signed a professional tryout contract with the Charlotte Checkers, the American Hockey League affiliate of the Carolina Hurricanes. Interesting move indeed. The Carolina Hurricanes are without both of their goaltenders, and right now they may need anybody, who could just replace them for a temporary period of time, and DiPietro might just be the guy. That is, of course, if he can stay healthy. That's going to be the big thing. DiPietro, of course, has never played with anybody else in his career, so this is a big turnaround for him. Toronto, another Maple Leafs forward, Tyler Bozak, missed Saturday night's game against the Pittsburgh Penguins with a lower body injury, so he and Lupul were both out. So that was a big loss. Those were big losses for the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Edmonton Oilers have recalled goaltender Richard Bachman and forward Anton Lander from the Oklahoma City Barons of the American Hockey League. To try to get their goaltending situated after what happened on Saturday night. And those are all the updates we're going to do right now. Those are all the updates. Well, this was an update from yesterday. However, I just wanted to bring that up. So, with that being said, let us now talk about the games from Saturday night. 11 games, so a lot to talk about. Starting with the Edmonton Oilers and the Phoenix Coyotes in Phoenix. This was a really wild game. A 5-4 victory in favor of the Yotes on home ice. A big win for them. Congratulations. For the Phoenix Coyotes, their goals being scored by Martin Hanzal, assisted by Oliver Ekman-Larsson and Shane Doan. Then Michael Stone would get his second of the year unassisted. Then David Schlemko would get his first of the year, assisted by Tim Kennedy and Radim Verbata. This, by the way, was a game all about the Phoenix Blue Liners, as they scored 4 of the 5 goals for Phoenix. And then the Oilers did have a 4-3 lead in the game, but then Phoenix came back on 2 power play goals, both by defensemen. The first one by Keith Yandel. He gets his first of the year, assisted by Oliver Ekman-Larsson and Radim Verbata. And then Oliver Ekman-Larsson scores the game winner on the power play, third of the year, assisted by Keith Yandel and Radim Verbata. So, Oliver Ekman-Larsson, a big performance with a goal and 2 assists. Radim Verbata, even though he didn't score a goal, he had 3 assists. Keith Yandle had a goal and an assist. But man, the blue line really getting it done for the Phoenix Coyotes, as was the goaltender Mike Smith. Not his best game personally, but still a good game overall. And good enough to get the win. 26 saves on 30 shots and .867 save percentage. For the Edmonton Oilers, there were points where they thought they had it. They did score the first goal of the game, scored by Tyler Pitlick unassisted. For Tyler Pitlick, that would be his first NHL goal. Congratulations to him. Then Will Acton would get his second of the season, assisted by Ben Eager and Luke Gazdic. For Luke Gazdic, his first NHL assist, his second point of the year. And for Ben Eager, his first point of the season. Then David Perron would get up on the board, assisted by Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Justin Schultz. And then Ryan Jones would get up on the board, assisted by Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Nail Yakupov. Yakupov getting an assist in the game as he looks to better his performance. Devin Dubnyk. Jason LaBarbera basically played pretty much the entire game. 22 saves on 27 shots and .815 save percentage. Not a great performance for him. However, Devin Dubnyk would see 39 seconds of gameplay. I believe, if I'm correct, LaBarbera would leave the game temporarily with an equipment issue, and Devin Dubnyk had to take over. He did make one save. So, he did face one shot, and he made the save on it. So, Devin Dubnyk able to get his stats up a little bit on a season that's just been dismal for him and just the goaltending in general. But congratulations to the Phoenix Coyotes on a huge win. Next, we have another really wild game, the New Jersey Devils and the Boston Bruins in Boston, a game that the Bruins basically had holding a 3-1 lead. The Devils coming back to get it done by a final score of 4-3, with all 4 of their goals coming on the power play. And despite the dismal season so far by the Devils, it is the first time in franchise history in which the Devils scored 4 power play goals in one game. They've never had that happen before. So, for the Devils, let's talk about all 4 of their power play goals. The first one being scored by Adam Henrique, assisted by Eric Jelena and Jaromir Jagr. Eric Jelena enjoying a nice rookie season, his first career assist after scoring his first career goal. Then Damian Brunner would get up on the board, assisted by Steve Bernier, his first assist of the year, and Andy Green. And then the Devils' defense getting it done. Marek Zidlitzky, the Devils' basically their best player so far this year. He has been their best player so far this year. He gets his first goal of the season, assisted by Patrick Elias, and Michael Ryder, his first assist in a Devils sweater, in a New Jersey Devils sweater. And then Andy Green would score the game-winning goal with just under a minute to go. 45 seconds left in the game after their game-tying goal came with just over a minute left to go. Andy Green getting his first of the year, assisted by Damian Brunner and Jaromir Jagr. Martin Brodeur would get the start in net with Corey Schneider out with an injury. He made 25 saves on 28 shots and .893 save percentage. So not the best Marty Brodeur performance we've seen ever, but good enough to get the win, his first win of the season. Keith Kincaid would be his backup goaltender with Corey Schneider out. So, congrats to Marty Brodeur on his first win of the year. For the Boston Bruins, again, they dominated in the early going. At the end of the first period, they had a 3-1 lead. Their goals coming from Torrey Krug on the power play, assisted by Jerome McGinley and David Krejci. Then Jerome McGinley would get his second in a Bruin sweater, assisted by Dougie Hamilton and Tuukka Rask, both of them getting their first points of assists of the season. For Dougie Hamilton, that's his first assist of the year, third point of the year. And for Tuukka Rask, obviously, he getting involved in the scoring, a goaltender. That's always a great thing when that happens, an exciting thing. And then Milan Lucic would score with under a minute to go in the period, assisted by David Krejci and Jarome Iginla. So Jarome Iginla, a 3-point night for him, despite the loss. Yes, despite the loss, Iginla may have actually been the best player on the ice. A goal and 2 assists, looking like the old Jarome Iginla. Tuukka Rask was very good despite the loss as well. Not his best performance, but he was solid. 28 saves on 32 shots, an .875 save percentage. So the Bruins obviously will look back on that one and think about what went wrong and a loss that they're going to want to forget for a while. Congratulations to the New Jersey Devils. Next, we have the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Toronto Maple Leafs in Toronto. The Leafs getting it done despite the fact that they did not have Joffrey Lupul and they did not have Tyler Bozak. However, they would have David Clarkson playing his second game of the season. Pittsburgh did take a 1-0 lead in the game, but after that, it was all Toronto. For the Toronto Maple Leafs, their goals being scored by David Bolland, assisted by Dion Phaneuf, a short-handed goal being scored by David Bolland, the first of 2 in that game. Then Nazem Kadri would get up on the board, assisted by Phil Kessel and James Van Riemsdyk. Then Phil Kessel would get a power play goal, assisted by James Van Riemsdyk and Cody Franson. And then Dave Bolland would put the game away with an unassisted empty net goal. So congratulations to him. James Reimer would get the start in net after Jonathan Bernier had been doing most of the work. Reimer coming up huge, and was the number 1 star of the game. 37 saves on 38 shots. .974 save percentage. He remains undefeated. He has yet to lose a game this year, which is great for him. For the Pittsburgh Penguins, their only goal of the game, the goal that made it 1-0, would be scored on the power play by Chris Letang. Chris Letang, who recently came back from an injury, getting his first of the year, assisted by Evgeny Malkin and Paul Martin. Sidney Crosby not involved in the offense this time around. Good way to go for Chris Letang, though, on getting a goal. Marc-Andre Fleury, not a great night for him. 26 saves on 29 shots, an .897 save percentage. His second loss of the season, his worst game of the year, too. He had just been phenomenal, but this game, not so much. Congratulations to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Next, we have the San Jose Sharks and the Montreal Canadiens in Montreal. The Sharks getting themselves a 2-0 shutout victory. They were just absolutely tremendous yet again, giving the Habs a real tough time. They're the best team in the National Hockey League right now. Mike, again, the Sharks are recently acquiring Mike Brown in a trade. He was not playing in this game. However, he got a lot of support from players who were. No support more than Logan Couture, who had both of the San Jose goals in this game. The second one coming off a turnover from Carey Price. The first one being scored on the power play, assisted by Joe Thornton and Patrick Marleau. The second one, even strength, assisted by Patrick Marleau and Tyler Kennedy. So Logan Couture 2 goals, Patrick Marleau 2 assists, Antti Niemi a 22 save shutout. So those were the 3 stars in that exact order. So Antti Niemi, again, just another brilliant performance for him. He's just had a fine season. And a season for him to enjoy. And it's just been an enjoyable season so far for the San Jose Sharks. They've been so consistent from the beginning of the year. Now, obviously, the one worry for Shark fans is can they continue to produce come crunch time? That's going to be the question of the day. We will see. For the Montreal Canadiens, again, nobody getting up on the board. Carey Price was very good, though, despite the turnover. 35 saves on 37 shots and .946 save percentage. So congratulations to the San Jose Sharks on a huge win. Next, we have the New York Rangers and the Detroit Red Wings in Detroit. The Rangers playing their final road game from that 15-game road trip. That includes the 6 preseason games. My gosh, New York Rangers, despite a road trip really to forget overall. They did finish it strong with a 3-2 win in overtime against a team that maybe not a lot of people thought they were going to defeat, the Detroit Red Wings. For the New York Rangers, their goals, the Red Wings led the game both twice. Rangers didn't lead the game until the overtime winner. For the New York Rangers, the three guys scoring for them, all getting their firsts of the year. For their first goal being scored on the power play by Benoit Pouliot, assisted by Brian Boyle and Ryan McDonough. And for Benoit Pouliot, that's his first goal in a New York Rangers sweater. He had so many chances. He had just really been lucky to be in this game. He's lucky he did not get a suspension. Not that he deserved it. He did not deserve one, but still, he's lucky that he didn't get one. So congratulations to Benoit Pouliot for a big accomplishment after having so many chances to score and being stopped hard so many times. Then for their second goal, Matt Zuccarello, who was a healthy scratch against the Philadelphia Flyers, returned against the Red Wings and turned out to be one of their best players on the ice. He gets a goal, his first of the year, assisted by Dominic Moore and Mark Stahl. Mark Stahl, for him, that's his first assist of the year. And for Dominic Moore, he gets involved in the offense for the first time in his second stint with the New York Rangers, his first point in his second stint with the New York Rangers, and his first National Hockey League point overall since April 5th, 2012, when he played for the San Jose Sharks against the Los Angeles Kings. He had an assist in that game. So congratulations to Dominic Moore on a huge assist. And then in overtime, Derek Brassard would get his first of the year with 13 seconds left in the overtime, assisted by Benoit Pouliot, his first assist in a New York Rangers sweater. But for Derek Brassard, a much-needed goal, and a goal he had been looking for quite a while. Speaking of firsts, Cam Talbot got his second straight start with Henrik Lundqvist still out. And for him, his first win in a New York Rangers sweater, and his first win in the National Hockey League. First NHL win for Cam Talbot, who, by the way, many people are starting to call the Prince. Henrik Lundqvist is the king, Cam Talbot is the Prince. That's what people are starting to call him, the heir to the throne. And with the way he's been playing the past couple games, he might just be that. 32 saves on 34 shots and .941 save percentage. I am shocked he was not one of the stars of the game. He truly was fantastic. For the Detroit Red Wings, their two goals being scored by Drew Miller, his first of the year, assisted by Joachim Anderson and Danny DeKeyser. And then Daniel Alfredsson would get his second of the year on the power play, assisted by Pavel Datsyuk. Despite the assist from Pavel Datsyuk, though, and being the third star, I really didn't feel like Datsyuk had his best game, nor did Henrik Zetterberg. Henrik Zetterberg, in particular, he was not on. The captain did not have a good night at all for the Red Wings, and that cost him. Jimmy Howard, he was brilliant despite the loss. 37 saves on 40 shots, a .925 save percentage. So congratulations to the New York Rangers on a huge win. A real huge win. They finally return home for tonight. They return home to play the Montreal Canadiens. So congratulations to the New York Rangers for surviving the road trip. Next, we have the Buffalo Sabres and the Tampa Bay Lightning in Tampa Bay. For the Lightning, a huge win for them by a final score of 3-2. The Lightning coming up huge against the Buffalo Sabres, who have continued to be the weakest team in the National Hockey League. And we'll have some more Buffalo Sabre news in our next episode. Be sure about that. For the Tampa Bay Lightning, their goals being scored by Tyler Johnson on the power play, assisted by Valtteri Filppula and Matt Carle. And then after the Sabres did take a 2-1 lead, it was all Tampa Bay after that. Martin St. Louis, the captain, getting it done, assisted by Steven Stamkos and Radko Gudas. And then Andre Palat would score the game-winning goal, assisted by Tyler Johnson. The Lightning have had a real surprisingly good season. Ben Bishop gets the nod in net and was absolutely tremendous. 20 saves on 22 shots and .909 save percentage. Congratulations to him. For the Buffalo Sabres, without Big John Scott and still without Patrick Coletta, Jimmy McBain a healthy scratch in the game. For the Buffalo Sabres, Brian Flynn getting the first goal for them, assisted by Cody McCormick, and Veli Leno. For Veli Leno, he returns to action and gets his first assist of the season, first point of the season as well. Is in his second game. In his second game of the season, he did not play since October 2nd against the Detroit Red Wings, the season opener. He got hurt in the season opener. He's really happy to be back. Sabres happy to have him back. And then Thomas Vanek would score his fourth of the year, assisted by Marcus Foligno and Zemgus Girgensons, who also would return. He was hurt for a little bit. No, he wasn't, but he did get hurt, I believe, and missed one game or so. But Zemgus Girgensons getting an assist on that. And for Thomas Vanek, many people, obviously, who haven't seen yet, for the people who haven't seen yet, this would be Thomas Vanek's final goal in a Buffalo Sabres sweater, as well as his final point in a Buffalo Sabres sweater, and we'll get to why in the next episode. Ryan Miller getting the start in net, and it's been a theme for him to be probably the best player on the ice for the Buffalo Sabres, and not being able to get wins because the team in front of him is terrible. 36 saves on 39 shots and .923 save percentage. 1-8-0 is Ryan Miller's record for the season. So congratulations to the Tampa Bay Lightning, and hopefully the Buffalo Sabres can pick themselves up off the ground. Next, we have the Philadelphia Flyers and the New York Islanders on the island. For the Philadelphia Flyers, not only do they pick up the win, but they score more than 2 goals in a game for the first time this season. 5-2 the final score. The big win for the Flyers on the island. And for the Philadelphia Flyers, the guy leading the way for them, Vincent Lecavalier, number 40. He gets his first hat trick as a Philadelphia Flyer, and the first hat trick scored by a Philadelphia Flyer this season. He just had an unbelievable game and was without question the number 1 star. That also included 7 shots on goal. My gosh, Vinny Lecavalier, just an unbelievable game for him. So for Vincent Lecavalier, his first of his hat-trick goals being scored on the power play, assisted by Mark Streit, the former New York Islander, and Claude Giroux. Then taking a break from Vinny Lecavalier, another guy who needed to score, Jakub Voracek. He would get himself his first of the season at long last, assisted by Braden Shen and Eric Gustafsson. Then Vinny Lecavalier would continue his torrid pace. He gets his second of the game, assisted by Michael Raffl and Mark Streit. And for Michael Raffl, an Austrian-born forward, he gets his first NHL point on that goal, on an assist. Congratulations to Michael Raffl. He's going to be a very solid player in the National Hockey League. And then Vinny Lecavalier would complete the hat-trick in the third period, assisted by Claude Giroux and Maxime Talbot, his first assist of the season. And I believe that is also his first point of the season. Nope, he had a goal earlier on in the year. Then after that, to put the game away, Matt Reed would get his second of the year, an empty net goal assisted by Nicholas Grossman and Sean Couturier. Steve Mason would get the starting goal, and he's played one of his best games. 26 saves on 28 shots and .929 save percentage. He was really good. Mark Streit, 2 assists against his former team, against the team he used to be the captain of. Claude Giroux, 2 assists. And then, of course, the hat trick and 7 shots on goal by Vinny Lecavalier. For the New York Islanders, their goals being scored by Kyle Oposo, assisted by Thomas Hickey and John Tavares. And then Franz Nielsen would get a short-handed goal, his 7th of the year, assisted by Peter Regan. 2 Danish forwards getting points on that play. Franz Nielsen enjoying a real nice season. He continues to be on a torrid pace. Kevin Poulin would get the starting goal, played the entire game, was not good. 27 saves on 31 shots and .871 save percentage, so not a great performance for him. Not a great performance for the Islanders in general. Kyle Oposo had 5 shots on goal. He led the Islanders in that respect. But Matt Molson would go scoreless and only 1 shot on goal in his final game as a New York Islander. Again, we'll get more into that in the next episode. But nobody played worse though than Pierre-Marc Bouchard, a -4 on the night. Josh Bailey, a -3. So congratulations to the Philadelphia Flyers on a big win. Next, we have the Winnipeg Jets and the Dallas Stars in Dallas. Big win for the Jets by a final score of 2-1. For the Winnipeg Jets, their goal coming from Evander Kane, assisted by Dustin Byfuglien and Mark Stewart. By the way, this game would go into a shootout. Then Stefan Robidas would get his first of the season for the Dallas Stars, assisted by Vernon Fiddler and Lane McDermott. His first assist of the season and first point of the season. In the shootout, Andrew Ladd, the captain of the Winnipeg Jets, a captain who leads by example, he got the only goal in the shootout. Olli Jokinen would be the other shooter for the Jets. For the Stars, they went with Jamie Benn, Alex Chiasson, and Ray Whitney. So congrats to the Winnipeg Jets. Andre Pavlik, he played probably his best performance of the season, 35 saves and 36 shots, a .972 save percentage. Kari Lehtinen was really good as well, 37 saves and 38 shots, a .974 save percentage. Alex Goligoski would be put right back into the lineup for this game. Kevin Connaughton, a healthy scratch, and Goligoski continues to be pointless this season. He has not had a good season. That's got to make you think that maybe at some point he could be traded. Congratulations, though, to the Winnipeg Jets. Next, we have the Minnesota Wild and the Chicago Blackhawks in Chicago. Huge win for the Wild by a final score of 5-3. For the Minnesota Wild, their goals being scored by Zach Parise on the power play, assisted by Ryan Suter. Then Kyle Brodziak would get his second of the year, assisted by Marco Scandella and Matt Cook. For Scandella, his first point of the season. Then, after that, Jason Pominville would score the first of 2 goals that he would have in the game, assisted by Michael Granlund and Ryan Suter. And then his second of the game would come right after, assisted by Michael Granlund. And then Justin Fontaine would get his third of the year, assisted by Mikko Koivu and Nate Prozier. So good performance by many players. 2 goals for Jason Pominville, 2 assists for Michael Granlund, and 2 assists for Ryan Suter. Nicholas Backstrom would get the start in net. He finally gets a full start and goal. He gets his first win of the season. Congratulations to him. At long last, getting his first win of the year, 33 saves on 36 shots, a .917 save percentage. Good job for him. For the Chicago Blackhawks, their goals being scored by Brian Bickle, assisted by the former Minnesota Wild Nick Leddy and Michael Roosevelt. Then Patrick Kane, despite being a -3, managed to get a power play goal, assisted by Jonathan Toews and Brent Seabrook. And then Marcus Kruger would get his first goal of the season, assisted by Brandon Bolig, his first assist of the year, and Nick Leddy. Nick Leddy, 2 assists on the night, the only multi-point performer for the Hawks in that game. Patrick Sharp led the game with 7 shots on goal. That's a big shooter performance there. Corey Crawford, not his best night by any stretch. 20 saves on 25 shots and .800 save percentage. A night to forget for Corey Crawford and the Chicago Blackhawks. Congrats to the Minnesota Wild. Next, we have the St. Louis Blues and the Nashville Predators in Nashville. The Blues coming up big with a win by a final score of 6-1 in Nashville. Just a night to forget for the Nashville Predators. They've had a few of those this season. For the St. Louis Blues, Alexander Steen just continues his torrid pace. He had 2 goals in the game, including the opening goal on the power play, assisted by Kevin Shattenkirk and Jaden Schwartz. Then TJ Oshie would get up on the board, assisted by Alex Pietrangelo. Then Jaden Schwartz would score his second of the year, assisted by Vladimir Sobodka and Vladimir Tarasenko. Then Alexander Steen would get his second of the game and 10th of the year, assisted by TJ Oshie and David Backes. Then Derek Roy would get his third of the year, assisted by Vladimir Tarasenko and Jay Bouwmeester. And then to cap it all off on the power play, Alex Pietrangelo finally gets his first of the year, assisted by David Backes and Jay Bouwmeester. Chris Stewart had 14 minutes in penalties in this game. He had a misconduct penalty in the game and 2 regular penalties as well, roughing and cross-checking. So we'll see what the league has to say about that. They probably won't have to say much, but still. So just a big performance by many players. Steen just continues to be tremendous. 2 goals, 2 assists for Jay Bouwmeester, a goal and an assist for Alex Pietrangelo, 2 assists for David Backes, a goal and an assist for TJ Oshie, 2 assists for Vladimir Tarasenko, and a goal and an assist for Jaden Schwartz as well. So a bunch of multi-point performers for the Blues in that game. Yaroslav Halak got the start and was really good. 22 saves and 23 shots, a .957 save percentage. Congrats to him. For the Nashville Predators, their only goal of the game coming via a short-handed goal being scored by Nick Spaulding, his first goal of the season, assisted by Matthias Ekholm. Congratulations to Matthias Ekholm, a former top prospect of the Nashville Predators who made the team. He gets his first NHL point. Congratulations to him, that being the only positive for the Preds in this game. The couple guys getting penalties. Matt Hendricks led the way as far as penalty minutes go for the Preds, 7 minutes in penalties. Craig Smith, 6 shots on goal to lead both all players for both teams in shots. Carter Hutton would get the starting goal with Pekka Rinne still out, and he was not good. 21 saves on 26 shots, an .808 save percentage. He gets pulled for Magnus Hellberg. Magnus Hellberg seeing his first NHL action, a former top goaltending draft pick from 2011, and he didn't face much. He only had to face 4 shots, and he did let in a goal, so he made 3 saves, a .750 save percentage. So Hellberg getting a good look. And it gets you thinking that maybe he could get a start in the next game. So congratulations, though, to the St. Louis Blues on a huge win. And last but not least, the Washington Capitals and the Calgary Flames. But before we get into that game, an interesting fact about Alex Steen, about St. Louis Blues forward Alexander Steen. He is the first NHL player to record 10 or more goals in a team's first 9 games since Chris Drury and Marian Hossa in 2006-2007. Chris Drury did it with the Buffalo Sabres, and Marian Hossa did it with the Atlanta Thrashers. So congratulations to Alex Steen on a fine mark in the NHL. Now, the Washington Capitals and the Calgary Flames. In Calgary, the Flames, the second meeting of the year between the two clubs, the Flames coming up with a huge win, 5-2 the final score. For the Flames, their goals being scored by Chris Russell, his first goal in a Calgary Flames sweater, assisted by Mike Camilleri and Dennis Weidman. Then Jiri Hudler would get up on the board, assisted by Sean Monahan and Sven Baertschi. Sven Baertschi back in the lineup after being a healthy scratch. Then Mike Camilleri would get his second of the year and first of 2 goals in the game, assisted by Dennis Weidman and Chris Russell. Then Mike Camilleri would get his second of the game, assisted by Joe Colburn. And then Curtis Glencross would top it all off, assisted by Matt Stajan and TJ Gagliardi. Kari Ramo would get the start in net and was really good. 27 saves on 29 shots, a .931 save percentage. Lee Stempniak did not play in the game. So congratulations to Kari Ramo. For the Washington Capitals, their goals coming from Jason Chimera, assisted by Mikhail Grabowski and Eric Fair. And then Aaron Volpatti, former Vancouver Canuck enforcer, gets his first in a Washington Capitals sweater, assisted by Nate Schmidt and Mike Green. And congratulations to Nate Schmidt. He got his first NHL point on that goal by Aaron Volpatti. Braden Holtby would get the start in goal. And not a good night for him. Just 11 saves on 14 shots, 786 save percentage. He gets pulled for Michael Neuwirth. He doesn't help the cause. 17 saves on 19 shots and 895 save percentage. So congratulations to the Calgary Flames. But Alex Ovechkin continues to be a shooting machine. 5 shots on goal. But that did not lead the Caps in shots on goal, surprisingly. Jason Chimera would have that honor, 6 shots on goal. As far as the overall game is concerned, however, Dennis Wideman would lead the game with 7 shots on goal. Mike Camilleri, 2 goals and an assist. He was the best player on the ice for both teams. But Chris Russell and Dennis Wideman, how about those two? A +5 on the night for that defense pair. They were on for every goal the Calgary Flames scored. Chris Russell, a goal and an assist. Dennis Wideman, 2 assists. So they were unbelievable. Well deserving of second and third star honors. Mike Camilleri deserving of the first star honor. So congratulations to the Calgary Flames on a great night all around. And last but certainly not least, here we go, folks. We now go to this day in hockey history from October 27th. In 1971, Mike Ricci, a Canadian native, was born. October 27, 1971. Mike Ricci scored 5 goals as a Quebec Nordique. Mike Ricci scored 5 goals in a game with the Quebec Nordiques in an eventual 8-2 victory over the San Jose Sharks in Quebec on February 17, 1994. In NHL history, we have seen only 60 games where some players were able to score 5 or more goals. Former NHL great, really the first NHL great, Joe Malone, was able to score 5 or more goals 5 times in his career. And an illustrious early career. And that is your famous moment in this day in hockey history from October 27th. Okay, guys, that'll do it for episode 86 of Hockey on the Spot. Join me again in a little bit for episode 87. Until then, this has been Hockey on the Spot with Brandon Barenfeld. I'm Brandon Barenfeld. I'll see you guys again in a bit. Thank you, and have a great day.